To the Rosie Road podcast. I'm your host, and today we have a special guest whose personal journey has inspired a movement towards holistic healing and spiritual growth. Meet Alcina Tran, the founder of Soulful of Life. Alcina's story started with a deep personal loss of her father in August 2012. This event led her on a spiritual journey where healing became essential for her growth and success. As a first generation Vietnamese Cambodian American and the child of a war survivors and immigrant, Alcina knows the meaning of resilience and humble beginnings. Feeling a lack of self-worth as she grew older, Alcina embarked on a healing journey exploring various healing practices. The positive impact on these experiences inspired her to make these healing options available for others, leading to her creation of Soulful Life. Soulful of Life. At SOL, healing is about coming back to oneself, restoring balance and well-being in all areas of life. Soulful of Life offers a variety of healing practices, and Alcina encouraged everyone to trust their intuition when choosing the experience that feels right for them. With more people awakening to the true potential, the need for diverse healing supports growth. So today, Alcina will share her story, how Soulful of Life came to be, and the power of holistic healing. So join us for an inspired conversation with Alcina Tran on the Rosie Rose podcast. What's up, Alcina? How are you?
Ooh, okay, sister. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, so this is a great pleasure to meet you. And so how I met Alcina is that you auditioned for my God's King. It's a Cambodian film that they hosted auditions. And I found you on one of their posts and I was like, who is this girl? So I clicked on your, I was like a mini stalker. No, not really, but start looking at your page and uh what attracted me to you was that you were also into like a holistic healing.
Yes.
Yeah. And can you tell me more about uh what kind like what do you do and like how did this journey come to where you are at now?
Yes, yes. I'm so happy we connected. I am so happy that you found me and that our energies attracted each other. Where I am at in my life right now, I am a healer. I am a coach, a life and leadership coach, and I am a conscious music artist, meaning I make music that's intentional for healing. And I love the introduction that you shared because very much that gives the high level of what happened, like what sparked my spiritual journey to get to where I am. So I'll shed a little bit of more light into diving deeper into the journey of not just like the loss of my father. That was like the shock to my system. My world just flipped upside down. Now, why, right? Answering the question, why? What is the meaning of life? Knowing that death happens, we hear about it, we know about it, but when it happens to you, and you lose when if you're blessed enough to have two parents and you lose one of your parents, all kinds of questions come through. And that's when I asked all the questions of why. What does this mean? What happens next? And as I began the my own healing journey, the more I dug into it, the more I tried to learn about myself and my place in the world. I realized, wait, there's more. There's how did I even get here? What
Mm.
happened before I came into the world? And then I realized, being Vietnamese, being Cambodian, having Vietnamese in my blood, there's history that led us to like where we are in this moment. And so I'll just pause there. Yeah. So I don't know if that answers your question.
Yes, yes. So the tragedy, so losing your father in 2012,
Mhm.
would you say that that was your like awakening of like finding who you are?
That was the start. That was the start of questioning what is the meaning of life?
Yeah. What is so for you, what is the meaning of life
Mm,
means to you?
yeah. When I asked that question, and at this time, I grew up Buddhist, so I didn't understand the concept of God. I wasn't sure what the concept of God was. And I had turned to my sister, and that was when she gave me a book, and it's called Life on the Other Side by Sylvia Brown. And that was the first time I read anything that gave insight into this is what is on the other side when you pass. What it's like is going into the movie theaters, and if you decide you didn't want to live life anymore, right, and you decide to take your life, it's like walking to the movie theaters and then you drop dead, like you just drop in the middle of being in the middle in the movie theaters. What life is, based on what Sylvia Brown shared, was life is just what feels like a lifetime is only just moments. Like home is not this. We came down here, we made a contract with God saying that we wanted to we wanted to have certain experiences to learn and experience different emotions, because up in heaven, life on the other side, there is no pain, there is no suffering. And in order for your soul to evolve, you choose to come down to earth to be able to have these experiences. And even though it's painful, the fact that we get to feel and experience, this is the human experience. And so that was the first definition I learned of what's life. And when I looked at it from that perspective, I was walking in the city, and I was like, what about the homeless people? Right? Like, do they make the contract to also experience what it's like to be like a homeless person? And in the book, she shares, you made a contract that every single action that you experience or that you make, from like as simple as tripping over the sidewalk or something, like you've agreed to experience that. And so for me, where I'm at life, I can understand and see and feel that we came down here to experience what it's like being human, to be able to experience all the emotions, to be able to evolve and learn and grow and connect. Um, yeah.
Yeah, that touched me because when I was going through my awakening or my healing journey is that, my father passed away when I was 7 years old. So just trying to understand like what was going on and stuff, like I didn't do the work until I was in my 30s. So during that time, I had trauma that I didn't even know that time. The word trauma didn't even like, wasn't as hype as like I'm not hype, but it wasn't as used as today. So my father-in-law actually got me a book called it was Thich Nhat Hanh, Healing the Inner Child. He seen it in me that I had a traumatic experience when I was young, but to me, I was like, my childhood was fine. I looked at this book, I was like, okay, cool, but I did not read it until like a few days later, and well, not a few days, a few weeks later, and realized like, oh, there was a lot of things that um I wasn't able to heal since I lost my father. And I'm gonna go back to how I was listening to Dolores Cannon. She's a metaphysic lady. And when you said that we had contact with God, I believe that, yeah, before we came onto this earth, we had like I had a contract with my dad saying, hey, you're gonna be my dad, but I'm not gonna be in your life for long. I'll have, 7 years with you. But in that 7 years, you would know all the lessons and gifts that I would give you. So understanding that, hey, I made a contract with my dad, knowing that I will only have him for 7 years of my life.
Oh my goodness. You're making me tear up, and I have goosebumps as you're sharing. Thank you for that story. Wow, just wow.
Yeah. And just learning that, he had a contract with the guy that killed him too, of just
Oh,
like, for me, thinking like it's like more like this guy that put the trigger that killed my father, who knows in the lifetime they had before, but it was his souls that he needed to experience this life on earth and this lessons that he had to go through. So
mm.
I do believe that we do have contracts with, you know, we choose our parents, like it or not. And it's like there's so many, if you are able to just sit back and like see from a third perspective, like third view person, like there's so many things that life is giving us and teaching us
Yes.
if we're
Yes.
able to see it.
Hmm. Hmm. Absolutely. The lens, the view, the perspective in which you choose to see life, it that's like that's the shades that you see and experience your world. Hmm.
Yeah. And so when you had your healing journey or healing process, right? What were some tools that you used to help you uh overcome or like, you know?
Yeah, man, I don't think I even knew what the tools were until I discovered coaching to be able to put a label on these tools.
Mm,
I knew that my intuition was something that I could rely on before I discovered coaching. So I'll talk about coaching after in a little bit. But so my intuition was one of the first tools that I learned that I could rely on. And I've always been the type to do things outside the box. I am the friend who moved out of the hometown, home city to go venture into the world. And however, whatever I did, and you could say, I've heard so many times, Alcina, you are so naive. You are so naive to think that it's okay for you to go in the places that you did as a young single woman and think that you're safe. Like, who do you think you are? For me, I was like, well, my life is like a movie. And I loved being able to just follow my intuition and just go and explore and meet people, especially having left Boston and going to DC. Like I lived in different cities and I moved around a lot because that's just where the wind took me and I went with it. But there's so many times where I've been judged and labeled for doing so, but I knew that this is my life. And when I don't feel safe, my intuition will tell me, my body will tell me. So that was like the first tool that, like, every time I followed what I felt in my gut, it always worked out. And the time when I didn't feel safe, I can tell you exactly when that was. What I did was I walked away and I just walked fast. And I got out of it and I didn't wait around. And I was always protected. And because my father transitioned, I felt I always had an angel on the other side, that no matter what I did, where I went, he's on the other side. I lost my father at age 19 and I didn't have a close relationship with him. We got closer towards the end of his life, but I was in college and I went away. Um, but we didn't have a really good relationship. He wasn't around often, he worked a lot. And when he did transition, I, it felt like our connection grew. It felt like, wow, you know what? If anything, he did what he could in this lifetime, and he's even a better father for still looking after us, even not being in this physical dimension. And later in life, in my 20s, I was so done with like working so hard. And I I didn't like the fact that I was working so hard and my income would only increase so much every year that I didn't want to feel this way anymore. And I saw a coach online. She was also Southeast Asian, and she was talking about building a business that's soul aligned, a soul aligned business. And I'm like, oh, I want to learn how to do that as a coach. I didn't know what coaching was yet, but I knew that I wanted to be in this like healing and wellness space. And so when I dived into more into the coaching training, that's when I learned these actual structures and tools in how to process, how to put yourself in a state that's in a toward state versus like an away state, meaning, what's going to make me feel safe versus what's going to make my brain go into a fight, flight, or freeze state. And then, oh, there's this thing that I can reprogram my brain. I didn't know that I could do that. So the more I learned about these different tools, the more I started to apply them in my life. And then I was just ready. I was ready to reprogram my brain and become a new person.
Yeah. So what was the shift when you're like, I'm done. I'm done with, because we have many rebirths in life.
Yeah.
When was that point of like, this is it?
Yeah, it was working. It was working for it was I was working for a company that they actually invested in my coaching, but there's just something about the time. It was January 2021, and when I found the coach and when I learned about building, like, you can build a soul aligned business. And I she it was $2,000 to work with her, and I was making, I think maybe 60K at the time. So, and I had debt too. And I share those numbers to give perspective on, okay, is this possible for you? Okay, for me to be in that position, I was willing. That's how willing I was. I was willing to invest $2,000, not knowing where the rest was going to come. But I just knew that I was desperate enough for change. I didn't want to do this anymore. I work hard. I'm proud of working hard, but working hard versus working hard does not always equate into making more money. And I wanted to learn how to do that. And then that's when I learned in the coaching sessions that my relationship with money, it was tied to how I valued myself. And because I had a lack of self-worth and self-love, and I needed to learn what that meant. I need to learn how to have compassion and how to love myself and respect myself. That was like the start of like really doing deep healing, honest with like, Alcina, where have you not shown up for yourself?
Mm.
Like, how have you not honored your worth? And come to find out, I was being underpaid for the work that I was doing for a number of years and learning how to speak up. But when you are a child of immigrant parents, Southeast Asian parents, you are taught, don't be loud, don't make a scene, don't put yourself out there. And so if I want to be a coach, if I want to attract clients, I have to do these things. I have to put myself out there. I have to speak up. I have to share. And so the things that I wanted, what I had to learn how to break these old cycles of fear and doubt and lack of self-worth. And that meant working with a coach, meditating. I did experience plant medicine and uh, trying Reiki, working with the shaman. I was just open to all of it.
Wow. So you tried Reiki, working with a shaman, plant medicine. What kind of plant medicine did you try?
So weed, shrooms, and the big one was ayahuasca.
Mm. And how
Yeah.
was your ayahuasca? Uh, how was ayahuasca?
Oh, that was in 2021, and I've only had one ceremony and, well, 2 nights of ceremony. And my guides, the message that I received from my guides, because at this time I was on this journey of healing, right? And I had cried so much. I had cried so much that by the time I had done ayahuasca, I was just like, okay, I'm ready. I am ready for like my big cry, right? I'm thinking like, I'm ready for my big cry. And when I was in the ceremony on my journey, my guide said, Alcina, stop looking for things to feel sad about, or stop looking for things that are wrong about you.
Mm.
There's nothing wrong. Stop looking for stuff. Stop. You're perfect. You're whole. You're healed. And that was the moment when I realized, wait, is it okay to say that I'm healed? Is it okay to declare that? Because I don't know many people who can say they are healed. And I know that, yes, there are always room to grow, but can I truly say that? If there has to be something wrong, there has to be. Who are you to not be like, who are you to be okay, you know? And that was when I realized, wait, we are all healed and whole at our core. That's just what it is. But we spend our lifetime learning and learning so that we can come back to that feeling of wholeness. And when you do reach that state, you do experience a heaven on earth. It is a frequency.
It is definitely a frequency because earth, it is heaven on earth. It could be hell for you if you choose to be to be hell. And that was beautiful that there's nothing wrong with us. Right? We're always searching for, oh, something's wrong with me, the self-doubt and insecurity. But really, we're whole.
Yeah. And I want more people to know that, not believe it, but know that, right? This is why we are in the space that we're in, to be able to walk the walk and show, okay, that it's possible. It is possible to be happy just because. It is possible to just be you and just be loved and accepted and have everything that you need just because.
Yeah. Wow, that was a powerful experience with the ayahuasca. Like you thought it was gonna be something huge and whatnot, but it was really just wholeness.
I was like, oh, okay. All right. In my sharing circle. And I was a little bit, I was a little bit shy about it. I was like, hey, the message I received was I'm healed. But I was afraid that if I say that, people would judge me.
Mm.
And okay, that was 2021. And where am I at now? I, there's parts of me that I am healed, right? There, I'm healed and I'm healing at the same time. Like there's always more. This is what we came down for, the human experience. So I am not shy to admit, yeah, there's parts of me that are healed. And then there's parts where it's an ever growing, evolving process.
Absolutely. Because I feel like, um, I was speaking with this one man and he was like, "So are you healed?" And I'm like, as of right now, yeah, I don't, right now, I'm not working on anything that's, coming up to me, but there's always things that at that right timing, those triggers will show up for you to learn and to heal from. So it's not like I'm not healing every day, like, oh, I'm healing. Oh, today I'm healing this, I'm healing that. No, no. I take life as what it is, where I'm walking to. And if I'm in, to say, trust the universe, right? If there's a lesson that I haven't learned, this right moment, right time, the right people will trigger something in us that we need to work on. But I don't go
Absolutely.
looking now, be like, oh, am I triggered? Oh, what do I need to heal? Like, no. Like, if life is like, if I'm feeling good today, dude, I'm gonna carry that energy. Like, all right, let's go. Like, it feels good. I look good. I'm like, let's go. And
Yeah.
it's not, like some people, and also your self talk. How are you
Yes.
talking to yourself?
Yeah.
And before I was really negative, because it was all the old programming that I grew up hearing, you know. Like you said, like we grew up, like, don't be loud. And I was always loud as a kid. And
Yeah.
it was one thing where like, like calm down, like just be quiet. And that affected me when I grew up later, where I wanted to out and be on social media to promote myself. Those old thoughts came in, right?
Absolutely. Hmm.
You're too loud. Who do you think you are? Like, who's gonna listen to you? Or like, you don't deserve to be on camera. And then the shyness come out, like, oh, because let me see. Put yourself on social media is fucking scary when you first start off.
Absolutely. But you have to go through it.
Yes.
That's like literally the ugly, messy, don't know what I'm doing, but I'm gonna do it anyways, scared, but I'm gonna do it anyways. Like it's just like yeah, it's a messy process.
Yes. And do you remember posting your first video of just you speaking? And what
Yes.
was that? Yeah.
Oh,
Let's hear
oh
it.
my goodness. I was sitting right there outside because my coach would say, Alcina, go on live.
Yeah.
And on Instagram, how you can only do so much. So I had so many of them because it was like, I just kept talking, but I was proud. I was proud. I was like, wow, I did it. I did it. And it's been a long journey. It's been 3 years.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
let me see, 3 years, it seems like you've been doing this for a lot longer.
I am now just finally able to feel more comfortable doing one takes.
Mm.
Like closer. It might take me like a couple, but just up until literally within the last month, I said, I refuse to keep doing takes after takes after takes because my time is so valuable. I need to learn how and be comfortable, be confident, just doing one takes, do it, put it out there, be done, and feel good about it because I am enough. And that's it.
I love that. I love that. One take and be like, I'm enough. Bam. Out. There it goes.
You know how many other things I have to do? I have so many things I
Yeah.
need to do. So now it's like, it's now that I am here, I love that you bring up the self-talk because how that ends up showing up now is you start that journey where you start talking, more kind, more compassionate towards yourself, and you learn what to say, what not to say, what words to choose to speak, what words you don't want to repeat because some words are from lack, other words are from abundance, other words are out of fear, and the other ones are out of love, right? So just being mindful of that. Now, where I am at is okay, I am striving towards manifesting high cash flow months consistently. Okay, this is like the next level of breaking or healing money generational, money wounds. Now, in order to do that, I have to be extremely mindful of where I'm paying attention and focus and how I am speaking of myself or how I am even thinking about myself. And that's like the next level, like ninja, learning how to refine it even more because moving in that state in your business, there can be no room for doubt, there can be no room for lack. Generating high cash flow months, that's not lack energy. And
Mm.
that's where I'm at. And I want to just like highlight today is now 35 days sober, where I actually don't smoke. I don't have any vices other than like maybe drinking coffee. But that's like a huge win for me because I didn't realize that I was like numbing myself, right? Like I believe in plant medicine and using it in like ceremonial. But for me, it had became like this thing that I didn't know was numbing my discomfort in the process of change,
Mm,
because change is hard. And then whether you like it or not, growing is painful.
growing pains. Ugh. And growing is painful
Yes.
because if you are not growing, you're you're probably doing the same thing over and over every day, being comfortable. And a part of you is dying when you are doing the same,
Mhm.
you know, numbing yourself. First of all, is why are you doing what you do right now? Like asking those questions and how can you be mindful? For me, it was meditation, right? I think meditation is the first start to just to see all those voices
Mm.
coming into your mind. If you can sit down for like 5 minutes and just observe all those thoughts coming into day by day, it just it just going. Some people get uncomfortable sitting down and being quiet and still because they're not used to, those voices in your head gets louder and louder when you sit down. But if you're able to just sit down and do a practice of just letting it flow and letting it by versus grabbing onto a thought that just came by, right? That's where it eats you up when you grab those thoughts and you dissect it. But imagine
Mhm.
if you're able to just let those thoughts go, because some of those thoughts are not even your words.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
So
Yeah.
it's people ask like, how can you be mindful? To me, it's like meditate.
Absolutely. Yes, I agree wholeheartedly. Meditation is so important. I love the way you describe it in terms of sitting down and just letting the thoughts like just flow and to not control. It's not about silencing your mind. If you have thoughts, then just be with your thoughts. And it does get easier. It doesn't happen overnight.
Yes.
It is a practice, it is a lifestyle. And if you can sit down in the morning before you do anything else and you meditate, and if you just even give yourself those first 5 minutes, that's see it as an opportunity to like master yourself. When you can master yourself, master your body, which is your unconscious mind, then anything else that comes at you throughout the day, it's not going to matter because you have learned how to control your temple. Anything else that comes after, it's like, whoosh, just roll it off.
Yeah, just roll it off. Yeah, because if you're not able to just sit back and just let those thoughts flow, because some of those thoughts are what you watch on TV or somebody's opinion of you or your to-do list. Oh, I gotta do this and this and this and that. Oh, I can't meditate because I gotta do all these other things.
Mhm.
But there is something about coming back to your breath. For me,
Mm.
meditation is coming home to you, right? Because some of us are searching for our loss. They're searching for like themselves. And when I say yourself, is like sometimes you're longing for your own love, your own company, your own like, oh gosh.
That's a hard one though. That's a hard one though, Rose, because we aren't taught that. We learn like some of us in this lifetime learn that lesson of it needs to come from us. Not everyone understands that, right? Because we are taught to look outside, get that
Yes.
external validation. So when you're talking about longing for the love from yourself, that's such a hard concept to grasp because if you haven't given yourself that love for however many years, decades, it's such a foreign concept.
Yes, yes. And how would you uh help someone that's like, they're longing for, love and they're looking for the outside for love, external world. What would you give them like a tip that would guide them back to themselves?
Hmm, that's a great question. The first thing that comes to mind is just, first of all, first know that happiness does not come from the external world. Happiness comes from within. If you are chasing anybody, it's not you're not chasing that person. You're chasing the feeling. You can sit down and daydream and feel that feeling without attaching yourself to the person. And this is a part of manifestation. When you learn how to feel the feelings. So if you are looking at somebody or you've got your heart or whatever, mind on somebody, learn how to feel, give yourself those feelings. Like sit down, feel those feelings in your bodies, and you'll be able to actually like you'll see, wow, I can actually sit down and I can actually daydream and feel that in my body. And when you get into this practice of feeling the feelings and learn how to detach yourself from the actual person, this is going to help your manifestation process. You
Yes.
combine that with aligned actions, that's how you actually end up manifesting the very thing that you want. You realize, oh, it wasn't that person, it was the feeling that I felt with this person. And when you combine that with inspired action, that's when manifestation happens.
Yes. And how can one person start, right? If somebody's new to manifesting, what is like, how would you guide them to like start?
It's the same answer you would give them when they ask, how do you be mindful?
Yeah.
Meditate. It's just like, literally just meditate. You have a problem, meditate. You have questions, meditate. Just, yeah, it's learning. What is manifestation? Manifestation is the manifestation occurs from your most dominant thoughts and actions. Literally, that's it.
Yeah.
So if your most dominant thoughts are of self-love, or like your most dominant emotions come from a place of love coming from within, and that's what you're thinking of on the daily, that's how you're acting, that's how you're moving, inevitably that's you will receive the thing that has been on your heart and your mind and how you have been showing up. You don't get what you want, you get what you are. So if you are being, acting, thinking, that's how you manifest.
Oh, I love that. Because manifesting is you got to feel like you got it already. Like it's already yours, you know?
Yeah.
It's like
Mm-hmm.
what is it that you want? Sometimes like I want love. It's like, dude, be that love, man. Like feel it already. Like you are loved. Like
You
I
are
got it.
that.
Yeah.
Yes. And one tip is to not say, I want, the word want.
Mhm.
Because when you say you want that thing that you're trying to manifest, automatically what you're also saying is, I don't have it. So you speak it. It's like, oh, it's coming, it's here. I am this. I do have it. It's on its way. Thank you.
Mm, thank you. It's done. It's
It's
done.
done. Like, and I can't like, and then there's this like detachment. Like, you don't have to be like, oh, when is it coming? No, you're just like, oh, it's coming. I'm so excited. It's coming, and I'm excited. It's coming. It's on its way. Thank you. Just thank you.
Oh, I love that. It's on its way. It's done.
Mhm. Mhm.
Oh, wow. And so what what part of you like made you get into acting or to try out an audition for a movie?
Let's be specific about this. Let's be really clear. The only reason why I auditioned for the God King movie is because it promotes Southeast Asian culture, and it's for, they're calling in Southeast Asian actors. I am not a professional actor yet. That was my first audition. And because of the God King movie audition, I had the opportunity to invite my friends who were Southeast Asian who had never auditioned before. And I just wanted to say, I was there. I was there for the audition because we didn't grow up with this as that was accessible. We didn't see people who look like us on TV, right? Even Southeast Asian is still a small number in terms of representation. So when I heard about this audition and it's in Long Beach, I can make the drive. Hell fucking yes, I'm going to go. Do I have any professional experience? No, but I am an artist. I have performed. I can sing in front of people, and I'm a coach. I'm an embodiment coach. Okay, so what would it be like to demonstrate emotions, right? So even though the title, I don't have like the official professional title, but I have some transferable skills that I can apply. And you just never know. And I was just excited the fact that I was able to invite my friends to be sit and say, hey, come through. You don't need experience, just speak in your mother language and just have fun. And we get to do this and experience this together. So that was what I felt made this audition special, because of the community.
I love that because I have never auditioned for a movie ever before. So what was it like? Did they ask you to like cry or like act? Like how is the process?
Come in and you sign in, and then you wait until it's your turn. And I went in and I had to introduce myself in Vietnamese, which I was not prepared for. That would have made sense to have prepared for that. I would have prepared myself, like prepared in English, but I didn't real I that was something that I didn't even prepare for. I was preparing for what I was going to do in the acting part.
Yeah.
Um, so that was on the fly, did it in Vietnamese, and what they wanted was emotion. And I
Mhm.
said, great, okay, emotion, I can do that. I imagine what you want to see. You would want to see like a range of different emotions. So I was experiencing, so the emotions that I was trying to convey was, like um trying to convey like the seriousness,
Mhm.
and then anger, and then
Mm,
sadness, and then just this determination. So those are like the emotions that I went in when I was expressing like this improv.
yeah. And was it so ho when you are there auditioning, how do you provoke the sadness and the anger and the determination? Like where do you go like in your mind to those emotions? Like how do you take it there? How do you get angry as Alcina?
Look, there are things that happen in life that are unjust, and I had that top of mind, feeling like there are some people who are not good people. And the sad part, the crying part, that was me thinking of my dad.
Mm,
And that was what allowed for me to be as expressive as I was. I was like, all right, I'm gonna say a prayer right now to my father, and I'm gonna talk to him and let him know there's just some things that are not okay. And that was what I brought into the audition.
wow.
Mhm.
So now that your dad has transitioned, what gift did your dad leave you?
He was the one that taught me how to sing.
Mm,
He was the one who would always push me to perform and sing to his friends when they're singing, karaoke and drinking, at the parties. And because I did that often when I was a child, and because of his belief in me, in his vision of me as an artist, that has carried over and transpired. He would tell his friends in Vietnamese, oh, my daughter's going to California and she's going to become an artist. And I was in Boston. I was young, under age 12. And 2021, I moved to California. 2022, at the age of 29, I released I released my first single and I threw a huge listening and healing party where I came out as an artist on his 10-year anniversary
Wow. What a
since his
crazy.
transition. I was like, I don't know if I did that subconsciously, but the timing of it, I had creative blockages for years. And it was that year where, because of coaching and the healing work that I did, I was able to overcome the blockages and finally say, no, I'm an artist and we're going to do this.
And
Yeah.
I seen one of your videos where you're doing a sound bowl healing and you were singing.
Oh, yes.
And your voice is like an angel. You have a beautiful healing voice.
Thank you.
Like
Thank
I want to attend your sound bowl healing to hear your voice.
you. I want to hold
Beautiful.
spaces. Thank you. I want to hold spaces for our community.
Yes, I love that. So what are some upcoming projects and or goals that you're excited about?
I'm currently, there's two projects that I am fundraising for. The first one, more closer in the near future, is music video for Amitaba. Amitaba is one of two songs that I released January 2024, where we input a Vietnamese Buddhist mantra prayer on like an EDM track.
Ooh, that's
Yes.
fire.
And the song I wrote, I had the genocide and the war in mind. So I actually wrote it last fall. We recorded it in the last fall. And I put the mantra in there, the prayer in there, because I wanted to promote healing. I wanted to promote generational healing. I wanted to promote honoring my ancestors on the Vietnamese side, but also say as a prayer, as I'm thinking about the war. And when you listen to the lyrics, you'll be able to visualize, and hear and just hear the sounds of what I was feeling in that moment when I was thinking about the war and the genocide. And so the goal is to have the music video done by the end of this year. So I'm raising money for that and fundraising for that. And then the next one is the sound healing documentary project, which I was hoping to have hit the milestones like this year. But I think because it's a larger project where I go to Vietnam and Cambodia to go learn what the ancient sounds are. This one, we're going to push back the timeline just a little bit. But this documentary it's intended to take the diaspora with me to go back to the motherland and go learn this part of history that we can't just find in our books, right? In our history books, or you can't just simply Google, and learn what the ancient sounds are and incorporate that into new healing music.
Oh, that's powerful. Especially get to the ancient music and the sounds of it.
Yeah. And so it's like when I create music, it's intentional, it's conscious, it's uplifting. So imagine having our ancestors, the sounds infused in that. I feel, I'm envious of those who live in the motherland, like Vietnamese people who are there, Cambodians who are already there because they have access to it. Whereas here, I'm Americanized. Like I don't have access to that. So this is my way of saying, I want to learn and I want to create create something that promotes bridging the gap between generations and promotes healing beyond time and space.
Mm, beautiful. And that project is going to be happening maybe next year.
I would love to have it completed by May. So we'll see, because the
Yeah.
goal was to raise 100,000, and I've never done anything like that. I have not fundraised. Like all the projects that I've done, they have been personally funded. And as an independent artist, like that's just like the best route. It's just like when you just fund your own projects. At the same time, now that these projects are getting even bigger and I have team and support to help me, I want to pay my team. Like I want all artists involved to be taken care of. So that's why I'm like, you know what? Okay, this music video, we created this budget, it's 25,000. Okay, let's see what we can do. This documentary, 100,000. Okay, let's just see. I don't want money to stop me or to stop me. So we'll figure it out one way or another.
Yes, and I will drop in the show links of where you can donate to the documentary or the music video. I'll get that from you, and I'll leave the links down below. And what legacy do you wish to leave behind through your work?
I want to be known as the sister who believed in our communities, in like our people, and believe that we can do it, we can heal. So being known for generational healing, I feel in my body where there's going to be people who are not going to find me until I'm in my 60s 80s, and they're like, she's been talking about this for the whole time. Yes, I have. Yes, I know it's not a sexy topic, but it is so needed, and this is what I'm here for.
Mm, and I love that. And I believe that on this, when you get past to like the other side, which is like the unknown, I meet people like you. I meet amazing aligned people that are also on their path, doing our work on this planet Earth, because we all matter.
Absolutely.
And there is something in you that wants to, that you're searching for something within you that you know you got, but it's up to you to find that gift within you.
Mhm.
And now that, like, like Alcina, she's found her gift, and now she's like giving it back to the people, to the community. And I love what you're doing with all your projects, with your coaching program, your sound healing, your documentary. Like you have a lot going on, and I'm from coming from another Khmer sister. I'm so proud of you, girl. I cannot wait for you to. I can't wait to see your music video, your documentary. Like I'm rooting for you.
Thank you.
I cannot wait to see because we are, we are the one that we're looking for. And for you to be able to show us another version of this healing aspect of what you or we all can overcome and thrive. That is so beautiful. Alcina, is there any last words that you want to leave for our audience that's listening?
Mhm. I want to add on to what you said about you matter. When you feel the fear of being seen or you feel the fear of using your voice, know that that's like the doorway. That's the doorway to walk through. I'm getting emotional. Channeling here, coming through. When you're in your light, when you're in your power, it benefits not just you, but all of us. So it doesn't help for you to play small. So, whatever it is that's holding you back, say not today, not today, and just take the first step. I would love to connect with you. You can find me on social. And thank you, Bong Rose, for having me today.
It is such a pleasure. You just gave me goosebumps right there. That you touched my heart. You guys don't play small anymore. We're so much bigger than that. I hope you're able to get in touch with your power within and shine because the people are waiting for you, what you have to say, what you gone through, what you overcome. They don't want to listen to anybody else. They're waiting for you. You're going to touch so many people's lives because a lot of us think that, oh, I'm not big or popular to touch people's lives. No, you're touching the people right by you. Alcina, you are amazing. I love you. Keep doing what you're doing. And I love you guys listening too. You guys, there's so many hate in this world that, dude, let's all walk each other home. Let's sing and laugh and dance on this journey, man, because it's tough. So might as well make it fun and happy and just like pick each other up. Mm. Thank you, Alcina. Thank you for taking your time to talk with me. And thank you guys for tuning into the Rosie Rose podcast. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye.